Hertz and Tesla made some headlines recently when the car rental company announced that it was placing an initial order of 100,000 electric cars, after which Elon Musk promptly tweeted that no contract had been signed, and because Tesla had far more demand than production, Hertz would have to buy the cars just like any other consumer. The back and forth between the two companies continued for a number of days, with the formerly bankrupt Hertz responding to the Wall Street Journal with a statement that didn't contradict Musk, but said deliveries of Tesla electric cars had already begun, and PR Week noting that Musk's tweet about the deal, or non-deal, only added more volatility to the company's stock price. But while this news was receiving a lot of attention, a little-noticed cybersquatting dispute involving both Hertz and Tesla was playing out in a case under the UDRP, the Uniform Domain Name Dispute Resolution Policy. Hi, it's Doug Isenberg, and the UDRP case I'm talking about involved the domain name teslahertz.com. Unlike the order for 100,000 cars, this dispute wasn't between the companies, but instead found Hertz filing a complaint against a cybersquatter who apparently targeted both corporations. Now, Hertz filed a complaint for the teslahertz.com domain name at WIPO in the summer of 2021 and received a winning decision dated November 1st, 2021, exactly 1 week before it announced its order for 100,000 Tesla cars. The case holds at least two important lessons for trademark owners that I'll talk about in just a minute. It's hard to tell from the UDRP decision in this case what drove the respondent to register the teslahertz.com domain name. According to the decision, the domain name, which had been registered in June 2020, was not used in connection with anything related to either company, but instead resolved to a Chinese language website that displayed what it called illegitimate gambling services, as you can see in this screenshot of the website that I found shortly after the UDRP decision was published. Now, maybe this is all the cybersquatter ever intended to do with the domain name, or maybe its goal was to try and sell it to Hertz or Tesla. But Hertz, at least, didn't seem to have much interest, and in fact, had filed and won a different UDRP case for two similar domain names earlier in the year, for hertz-tesla.com and tesla-hertz.com. That case, by the way, was terminated, which probably means that the registrant of those two domain names agreed to transfer them to Hertz, and interestingly, both of them now redirect to the Hertz homepage. As for the teslahertz.com decision, there's really not much to it, as the WIPO panelists pretty easily found that Hertz proved all three elements of the UDRP test. First, that the domain name was confusingly similar to the Hertz trademark. Second, that the registrant of the domain name had no rights or legitimate interests in it. And third, that the domain name was registered and used in bad faith. The most interesting aspects of this decision, though, relate to two issues that I said a moment ago hold important lessons for trademark owners. The first issue is that this is one of those unusual UDRP cases in which the disputed domain name is actually confusingly similar to two different trademarks owned by two different entities. In its decision, the panelist cited to the WIPO overview on this topic, which says, where the complainant's trademark is recognizable within the disputed domain name, the addition of other third-party marks is insufficient in itself to avoid a finding of confusing similarity to the complainant's mark under the first element. In other words, inclusion of the Tesla trademark in this domain name didn't keep it from being found confusingly similar to the Hertz trademark. But the WIPO overview also says something else on this issue, something the panel did not address. Tesla was not a co-complainant, and there's nothing in the decision to indicate that Tesla consented to Hertz filing the case. Here's what the WIPO overview says. The complaint may include evidence of the third-party mark holder's consent to file the case, and request that any transfer order be issued in favor of the filing complainant only. Absent such consent, and where this was considered appropriate, having failed to reach the concerned third party by procedural order via the complainant, some panels have ordered transfer of the domain name without prejudice to the concerned third party's rights. And in certain highly exceptional circumstances, panels have ordered the cancellation of the disputed domain name. In other words, by not getting Tesla's involvement in this UDRP case, Hertz risked getting a decision to cancel the domain name instead of transfer it. And although that didn't happen, the decision leaves a number of questions unanswered. Does Hertz really have the right to a domain name that includes the Tesla trademark? What if Hertz starts to redirect the domain name to its own website? Will Tesla object? Could Tesla even file its own UDRP complaint against Hertz now for the same domain name? These questions may seem unlikely, but the fact that I can even ask them means that trademark owners should really remember to address these issues up front before filing a UDRP complaint against a domain name that contains someone else's trademark. I've been in that exact position before and usually reach out to the other trademark owner to get their written consent and include it as part of the complaint. Now, the second lesson for trademark owners is one that Hertz apparently knew here. Address domain name issues before making any big announcement, such as one that involves another company, a new product name, a merger, or a corporate name change. Unfortunately, I've had clients come to me only after an announcement like this, which, as you can imagine, immediately prompts opportunistic cybersquatters to register domain names that the trademark owner wishes it had acquired earlier. Fortunately, though, these issues, although a little painful, are often resolved through the UDRP process. If you want to learn more about the UDRP, please check out my masterclass on domain name disputes, as well as other resources on my GigaLaw website. And be sure to subscribe to the GigaLaw YouTube channel to be notified of future videos discussing other internet legal issues. Thanks for watching, and see you next time online.